Cool. Yeah, the guys are, someone's just finishing a rent to the studio. I think they're finished. I was just, yeah, no one works here. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, you too.
Hey there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed Lonely Rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. So what's one thing you should never do to a guitar? Never mind a guitar that was hand-delivered by the guy who built it, who drove 2 hours to see you. Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but I was really honored to host William and Jeff from Scheltema Boutique Guitars. That's a boutique builder about 2 hours northwest of Toronto, Canada, and these are absolutely amazing instruments, all finely handcrafted by William himself, and it was such an honor to get to chat with him and to get into the mind of a guitar designer and builder, and I really enjoyed making this video, and I look forward to sharing that story with you right now.
Okay, Dan, this is the first model. It's the Sherwood Classic, and it is reminiscent of a Fender Telecaster.
So the Sherwood Classic. The thing is, I do see these on your Facebook. Put a link to your Facebook down below as well. You can follow the trials and tribulations of Scheltema Guitars. Wow, look at that. So I played one of these, I think, at the show, right?
Yeah, you play.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was the button.
Okay. No, that's fine. You damaged your corner bead.
Oh, man. Oh, I can't believe that I did that. Oh. Well, thankfully, no guitars were harmed during the making of this video. I love the detail here with the gold leaf that you put here. That's beautiful. Oh, really nice. Can't wait to plug that one in.
Now, there is a story to the Sherwood Classic, and it's connected with Fender legal department. That's all I'm going to say. You can see where, again, another inspiration guitar that I built based off the Telecaster. And I absolutely love it. I love the pickguard. I love how I designed it in a way that, again, creates an interest and has a lot of curves. I've also introduced this really nice inlay with the textured copper in the headstock and into the body, just to add that extra little bit of flair. And what's really neat is whenever my customers place an order, they can choose what kind of patterns they want. Kind of makes it a little more personal, or even what kind of material they want to use. It can be brushed aluminum, it can be copper, it can be whatever they choose. So that makes it really unique, and it can really make it stand out. When you see these guitars, you know where they're coming from. This one particularly, whenever I see it, it reminds me of one of my favorite guitar players, Andy Summers, because we know him from the Police with his Burst. His is double bound. This is a single bound, top bound. And we have this really nice wide range pickup wound by MJS pickups and a stacked Tele bridge. As wonderful as these guitars are to look at and to put together and to build, I get really excited when the musicians that get these guitars are inspired and they get excited about playing again, and they have this new found energy, because it really starts to speak to their creative nature. And my goal and hope is that they come up with the next top 10 song, or that they even come up with a new song anyways. I think that's the whole reason why we play guitar, because we want to express. And I like to feel and believe that my guitars that I build help bring voice to the creativeness of the musician. And that's why I built these guitars in the first place. All right, the second model in our lineup is called the Paradiso, and you will recognize it as the Fender-inspired Stratocaster.
All right, the Paradiso. Say that 10 times fast. I bet you can. If you say that fast without making a mistake, you can keep it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. I watched you building these. I'll mention 100 times. You got to follow his Facebook. He shares the entire process of making these gorgeous guitars. I think of a tuxedo when I look at this.
Yeah.
Totally. Again, that gold leaf detail is so beautiful. I'll get some detail shots, but what a gorgeous guitar.
This is the Paradiso. It took me about a week to come up with a name, and you can obviously see where the inspiration came from. Fender Stratocaster, beautiful design, just a flawless in the day of the 50s that they came up with. That is really truly amazing. And I never want to just follow what everyone else is doing. I wanted to cut my own path, but I love Stratocasters. I love the 3 single coils with the 5-position switch. You're getting all the Mark Knopfler or David Gilmour tones out of it. And I wanted to have that in my model lineup, but I wanted to do something different. So it meant going to redesigning some of the body shape, switching up the horns a little bit with this wonderful adornment, something I really love. And I carried that into the headstocks of all of my bolt-on models. It's not only really light, it's about 5 pounds, 5.5 pounds, but it sounds like a Strat and then some. And I think it has a really unique voice to it, and visually I think it's really stunning. I wanted to do something really special with the pickguard. And so, it meant going to the drawing board. But what that does is it really allows me to stand out and be unique, and yet still have that connection to the past and the vintage guitars. When I played in bands in the 80s, I always wanted vintage Fenders or Gibsons. I had a 65 Tele and a 67 Custom SG Deluxe. So I'm very familiar with vintage instruments and what you can do with them. And I wanted to try and capture that with my own guitars. Our latest, newest model, so new that I haven't got a case for it yet. That's why it's in this blanket. It's called a Stratford Thinline.
Oh, wow. Now, anyone who watches my channel knows that I love my hollow bodies. I'm going to be very careful with this one. You should always be careful with guitars, regardless of price, but especially these ones. Look at that. Beautiful. Wow, it's very light. Detail work. I love that horn. I know that's been signature in a couple of your models.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, look at that. Gorgeous guitar. Wow.
This being my newest model, I just am so excited about it. I had an opportunity in high school to build a guitar with my woodshop teacher, but it was so overwhelming. I was really not in a place to even consider it. It was just too daunting. And it took quite a few years until I was into my 30s, 40s before I actually attempted in building a guitar. And what I love is the process of taking raw lumber and coming up with the design. And it was really important to me that I find my true expression in building guitars. And I think this is one of my most creative visual and tonal expressions for a guitar that not only do I feel I've accomplished, but also that you can find on the market. And one of the things I love about the guitar, other than the fact that the profile is really nice looking, it's such a balanced guitar. It's just really nice on your lap, but it has some really lovely curve elements like these flaring in the lower horn and in the upper horn, as well as this tail. And the reason why this even came into being is because I was commissioned to build a guitar for Randy Bachman. And what he wanted was a body with the width of an ES335, which is about 17 inches, plus or minus, and an F5 mandolin scroll. And so I built him that guitar. He received it last year in August at a show he was doing. And I had designed the second version of the F500 with the scroll, called the F50 at the time. And it was about 10 years before I actually got to doing it. And so it's been a percolating desire to have this guitar built, and it's pretty much the top of our lineup. The choice of pickups, the finish, it uses a standard Gibson 24 and 3/4 scale, so it's familiar to anyone that plays Gibsons. But it has such a presence, and I'm so excited about this model. I'm looking forward to building more of them. They're so much fun to build. They're all hand carved. All the wood is hand selected, as you would find on any boutique guitar, and with the Filtertron style pickups and the top quality hardware from Graphtec, ratio tuners, and the Resimax bridge. I think this is a beautiful guitar, and it can cover any of the genres, really. It can rock and it can jazz really well too. I'm really happy about it.
Another gorgeous work of art from William Scheltema. He's a true artisan. I mean, being part of the organization, I'm blown away every time I look at one of the creations that come out, because it's amazing. Now, here's the great thing about what we have here. I look at this. This is a large guitar, and I feel it's man, this is so light, and the tone that it gets, even on a it's a full hollow body guitar. It resonates with me, and it really connects with that creative expression for me. That you get the opportunity when you're getting a Scheltema Boutique guitar to actually have a one-on-one conversation with William and describe what you're looking for, the tone you want, the colors, everything. It's your custom beauty. I love every aspect of the instrument. The reality is the instrument becomes an extension of me. And I'd love for everyone who is an inspiring musician to be able to feel that.
And on that note, I want to thank William and Jeff so much for taking some time and visiting me here in the studio and sharing those wonderful instruments with me. There's something to be said about boutique builders, whether they're making guitars or amplifiers. It's all about passion and craftsmanship. It's really each guitar, in this case, these are works of art, and William puts his heart and soul into every instrument that he makes. They're all made to order, and he makes all of the guitars. So certainly if you're interested, it's such an amazing instrument. I'm definitely going to put some information in the description, and I highly recommend you follow him on Facebook as well, because he's constantly posting build pictures and videos, and it's just so much fun to follow him. So I really encourage you to do that. I certainly hope we'll see some more of his amazing guitars here in the studio sometime soon. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And while you're down there, well, if you like guitars, we talk about guitars on this channel, so I'm going to pop something right over here for you to check out. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. I'll catch you in the next one.